This is VOA News, reporting by remote. I'm David Byrd. Thousands of protesters streamed into Washington, D.C. and other U.S. cities on Saturday in continued protests against police brutality and racial injustice. We get more from AP's Ben Thomas.
Neither the steamy summer heat nor coronavirus fears could keep thousands of protesters from gathering across the D.C. metro area, intent on marching toward the White House. Military vehicles and officers in fatigues had closed off much of downtown Washington to traffic ahead of the planned march. Mayor Muriel Bowser was cheered as she walked through the portion of 16th Street near the White House that she's renamed Black Lives Matter Plaza.
These types of gatherings remind us about us being human and about the need for all of us as one human race coming together to solve the problems of our community.
The Reverend Adrian Nelson of Lomax AME Zion Church tells WJLA
that was what was lost in Minneapolis, was the humanity of George Floyd.
Ben Thomas, Washington.
Thousands gathered in London on Saturday to hold an anti-racist demonstration in solidarity with protests taking place in the U.S. We get more from Reuters' Edward Barron.
Thousands of people rallied in the heart of London on Saturday to support U.S. protests against police brutality. They waved placards and chanted, "No justice, no peace, no racist police." The rolling global protests reflect rising anger over police treatment of ethnic minorities. The British government had warned people to stay away because of the threat of the coronavirus. Huge crowds gathered at Parliament Square, making social distancing impossible. Later, protesters stopped traffic as they marched towards the American embassy.
That's Reuters' Edward Barron. This is VOA News. Two Buffalo police officers seen on video shoving a 75-year-old man to the ground, severely injuring him, now face second-degree assault charges. We get more from AP's Julie Walker.
Officers Robert McCabe and Aaron Torgalski turned themselves in Saturday, pleaded not guilty, and were released without bail. They were already suspended after the video went viral Thursday, showing Martin Gugino knocked to the ground. Blood coming from his head, one officer stopping to check, another pushing him along.
When you cross the line, all right, that's when it comes out of the training aspect.
Erie County DA John Flynn.
And knock him down and crack his head on the skull, crack his skull in the concrete. That's what you don't do.
Dozens of Buffalo police officers angered over the suspension stepped down from the department's crowd control unit Friday. I'm Julie Walker.
Libyan strongman Khalifa Haftar has backed a ceasefire in Libya starting Monday. We get more from Edward Uranian in Cairo.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with General Haftar and the head of the Libyan House of Representatives, Akila Saleh, and called for a ceasefire beginning Monday, June 8. He says that Egypt's initiative is based on the respect of all international resolutions and calls for a ceasefire beginning Monday at 6 a.m., in addition to the withdrawal of all foreign mercenaries from the entire country and the dismantling of all militias to allow the Libyan army and the security forces to exert control. Responding to the ceasefire call, Khalid al-Meshri, head of the Tripoli government's presidential council, told Al Jazeera TV that Libya doesn't need another peace initiative, and he claimed that Haftar's forces now have suffered defeat and should not be trying to dictate the terms of an agreement. Edward Uranian for VOA News, Cairo.
La Patrouille de France performed a flypast over the Normandy beaches Saturday to mark the 76th anniversary of D-Day. Compared to last year, when many tens of thousands came to the northern French beaches of Normandy to cheer the dwindling numbers of veterans and to celebrate 3/4 of a century of liberation from Nazi oppression, the coronavirus lockdown turned this year's remembrance into a solemn and eerie one. Normally, veterans would meet other survivors of the 1944 battle and celebrate with locals and dignitaries alike. This year, U.S. veterans could not fly in because of the coronavirus pandemic. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd.